Hey everybody, and welcome back to We the Revolution. We jump back in here at Act 2, Day 16. The revolutionaries like us, the common folk love us, and the aristocrats, they rather despise us. So that's very dangerous for us. Also, what's dangerous for us is our brother, our long-lost brother that we thought was dead, is hunting our family, to say the least. So that's not very good. So we mentioned this part about Jean-Paul Marat. I'll read it again. So, why did you come here? Why couldn't we talk about it at our house after work today? Jean-Paul, I would rather do it here, surrounded by other people, as I am afraid that I would not leave your house alive. Well, why is that? I don't understand. I'm in possession of anonymously written documents that describe your actions since you became a judge of the tribunal. Betrayals, murders, political bribery. Are you still human, or am I talking to the devil? This is all Clement Reynard's doing. That man has already destroyed my father, and a few days ago he threatened to do the same to me if I would not be obedient to him. Whatever is written there is not true. Those lies are only supposed to destroy. Do not make a fool of me. Today Reynard was found dead at the back of Café Procope. Know that I will dig into this until I know your every wrongdoing, every murder, deceit, and betrayal. I can assure you that there is no need. Focus on assuring your family that you are not a monster, because I intend to be ruthless. Okay, Jean-Paul? So, fun fact about, well, not very fun fact about him, but a fact about him is he was indeed he was a firebrand kind of newspaper writer. He wrote a lot of, inflammatory, very excited articles for the revolution. He was very much a zealot. But he had a skin condition that led him to spend a lot of time in the bathtub to soothe his skin condition. And he was in fact murdered by a lady while he was in said bathtub. So, anyways, today we only have several minor cases to deal with. Okay. Yep, so where are my minor cases? Oh, yeah, they're right here. So, yeah, she was not happy with his writings, and she thought that he was inciting a lot of violence, and so she came to his house and she murdered him while he was in his bathtub. The end. So we have Martine Sartre. She is an aristocrat, and we want aristocrats to like us, so I'm inclined to be more favorable towards her. She's a prostitute. She was serving a range of high-ranking guard officers, as well as at least one British agent, who we have already sentenced to death. We are sure that she was paid for whispering military secrets to him whenever he joined her in her bed. Well, we don't... I mean, you are sure of that, but you don't have any proof of that, so innocence, please. There you go. Oh, another aristocrat. The violinist Paul Mallet assaulted a rival musician after a performance by the fiddler. Mallet lurked in waiting in the street, jumped him from behind, and brutally battered him with a truncheon. We can report that the assailant was particularly cruel. When he came to his rival's fingers, he broke several of them. Well, I can't let you go for that, so off with your head, sir. Another aristocrat. 17-year-old Flora Favre, a waitress, had a fight with a colleague. We know that there was a scuffle and that Favre broke a glass on Claudine Martin's face. The victim claims she will never be able to get rid of the scars. Well, death to you. Nathaniel Bolet, a carpenter, walked Marie-Claude Arnett, a factory worker, home after a dance. Despite her clear objections, he allegedly entered her apartment and raped her. Well, death to you, sir. Vicar Julian Lardy has been seen beating 3 children that were playing cards in the street. The accused claims that they were playing War, a game that, in his opinion, triggers violence. I really can't afford to give you death. I mean, how hard were you beating these children? Was it just like a shoo, get out of here, or were you physically like knocking the block off? I'm just for my own sake and because it's ambiguous here, I'm gonna let you go. And Gerald Carpentier, the butcher, I mean, you should be a carpenter with a name like that, was found to have been adding horse meat to his sausages and cooked meats. He would buy it at low cost from local farmers. There have been no reports of food poisoning, but we believe it is only a matter of time until we hear some. You know what? Not guilty. That's not a crime. That may be a little bit, just slight fraud, just a little bit of fraud, but not a crime. And we're totally not doing that just because we want the aristocrats to like us a little more. And I have no, I mean, maybe this is, I have no reason to say this, but I feel like in the, whatever this is, 17, almost the 1800s, into the 1700s, early 1900s, no, early 1800s, that's what I mean, that they would have had no problem with eating horse meat. I think horse meat is a fine, probably eaten, you know, in some places today. So what's going on here? Everyone's dislike. Reputation and influence. Marat's revolutions. Marat was nothing but thorough. This morning, Parisians were greeted by a special issue of the newspaper in which he summed up your actions since taking office. He wrote about your elimination of the Rolands, how you exterminated the Girondins on Robespierre's command. He talked on length and how you betrayed or destroyed the lives of the mayor and his daughter. The Muscadins will learn that you framed Beatrice for espionage. Each of your sins, minor and major alike, was described with nigh analytic solicitude of someone who has been watching your every move for a while now. Your brother wasn't kidding. This is far from over. Well, so everyone hates us now. -2, -2, -2. Reputation -6, influence -4. Oh, we saw our boy there with one hand. That's disappointing. Marat dragged your sins into the daylight. Your loved ones stopped meeting your eyes, so they don't like us, I'm sure. I mean, that's not as far down as I would have thought. Oh, that fell pretty far. Yeah, my dad's like, I don't care. Whatever. Do your thing. Alright. Just this last little piece here. Your brother's army will arrive in 3 days. Alright, we just have to take over this zone here. That's all we're doing today. And then maybe my brother will have no locations after that. Quell the riots here, please. Guess I can't do anything. I can't do anything because there's unrest in this section. So is this not mine? Controlled by the enemy. Can I not take that then? No, it's just lower fervor. No, I think we're done. I'm just going to put everyone here. And they can just hide behind our bruiser. I mean, that place does look, I mean, that looks red though to me. So maybe I should be dealing with that. I guess it doesn't, that's not red because it's red. I think that's red because, I don't know. Is it because it's the hammer? Is that why it's looking red? Like if I moved you here, I can, yeah, lure enemy agents. Lower the fervor. No, so it's not red because it's an enemy territory. Let's go ahead and just leave him here, I guess. End day. Act 2, Égalité, day 17. Hello, sir. We only have minor cases to deal with again today? Alright, what's this quarrel? Remember that time your wife haggled at the market with that bald traitor? I do not remember that, no. He started telling everyone that who would listen that you are a Scrooge and a bore. You, not your wife. Oh, the joys of marriage. Alright, so common folk dislike me a little bit and reputation goes down. We have 13 influence, though. That's huge. Alright, let's just see these verdicts. Bernadette Gautier. We don't know who backs her. The young wife of a guard officer was caught in bed with the 14-year-old son of their butler. Fortunately, the betrayed husband was reasonable enough to restrain from punishing them and only arrested his unfaithful wife and her lover. No, it's probably not a good idea for me to let go. Like, I don't know who's backing you, but if you're betting a 14-year-old boy, that's off with your head. Oh well, it's just good things for me. Everyone liked that. Sadler, Jean-Luc Mesny, probably like Menet or something, has been participating in protest against the increase of the price of bread. He was seen throwing stones at the guard and encouraging others to join him. One of the stones hit a 7-year-old boy, and the child died. Well, off with your head. Amaury Jacot was riding around Paris on his horse late in the evening. The guard noticed that he could barely stay steady in the saddle. It turned out he was completely drunk. If the horse had been spooked, he would not have been able to calm it down. You know, I mean, you didn't actually injure anybody, so I'm going to let you off with a warning. The merchant, Cedric Barnier, visited his supplier in the country and loaded an extra 4 bags of flour that he had not paid for. This clearly could have been a simple mistake. Could not have been a simple mistake. It had to be deliberate theft. Alright, well. Off with your head, then. Gilbert Leroux, a breeder of animals raised and killed for their fur, paid a significant amount of money to Deputy Gaetan Pasquier, who in exchange was supposed to convince his colleagues to vote for a rise in the duty for furs imported from Eastern Europe. So you're bribing people. So off with your head. The aristocrats aren't too happy with us right now. Officer of the guard refused to chase a thief who had stolen a chest full of buns. He explained that as a young man he'd been shot in the knee with an arrow. Really? Really? You're gonna play the whole, like, I was an adventurer until I took an arrow to the knee? You're gonna play that old Skyrim joke? I mean, you refused to chase. You could have walked after him. You could have, you know, raised a stink. You could have done something. So, off with your head, then. Signed. And stamped. Alright, I'm going to pause the recording just a sec. You hopefully shouldn't notice, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we should be back now. Let's see what the day, or the night, I suppose, brings us. Hello, guardsman. Citizen Fidel, they found another body. What are you talking about? Who was killed? Is it another one of our family members? It's gonna be like my wife this time, isn't it? Who is it this time? Stop pretending. You know who. I don't know who. Do not play games with me. I thought that... Never mind. Citizen Marat was found dead. Oh, him. You thought that I did it? Shut up, guardsman. Get out of my sight. I'm glad that he's dead. Did he die in his bathtub like we indicated? Yep, there he is in his bathtub.
Marat had it coming. A crazy Girondin got to him.
Yeah?
I'm not sure if he paid for his sins. Or my own. Get him out.
So that's taken from a famous painting of the death of Marat, where he is depicted there in his bathtub. And he's depicted much nicer looking, for lack of better terms, than what the historical record says he looked. According to the historical records, his skin disease or whatever malady he had actually had a disfiguring effect on him, so he wasn't quite as good looking. If I can say that, he would not have been perceived as good looking to the majority of society. That's probably a better way of saying it, as he does in that painting. Anyways, so this appears to be us standing over Robespierre, holding his still beating heart in our hand, which is very odd. I don't know le botte. I don't know what that. Something of the tribunal and us. Okay. Even from beyond the grave, Marat can deal substantial damage. The night before his death, he was able to typeset the last issue of his paper, focusing on your most recent misdeeds. He claimed that you were the one behind Gobel's death, you the true mastermind, not Gobel's son. The paper also described how you overthrew Robespierre only to gain absolute power in France. There is no need to tell you what else was written. You know the truth. You know that his words contain more truth than lies. Everyone feels the same, even if they are not sure, and your family knows what you are capable of. In the eyes of Paris, you are a monster who was exposed by Marat, a monster who killed and buried the revolution. Common folk -1, aristocrats -1, revolutionaries -1, reputation -4, influence -2. And there's nothing we can do here, so now our family's just going to dislike us even more. Marat continues his onslaught from beyond the grave. Your family's contempt for you deepens even more. Yeah, at least our father still has some belief in us. You are actively turning the revolutionaries against us, though, son. And that's it. Do we control the entire board? I think we control the entire board. Your brother's army will arrive in 2 days. It's all blue. We own the entire board, brother. Get out of here. Leave the Muscadins alone over there. I guess I could go fight them, but you know what? There's not a real need for that, so I'm just going to hang out. Unless there's anybody that needs to have their fervor knocked down. And maybe here. You're going to have your fervor up pretty high soon. Oh, there. And there. Can you lower can you do the same? Are you also able to lower fervor? No. Well, if that case, I want to keep my people kind of grouped together in case they're attacked. Alright. End the day, please. And I'm not using the, I know we have those buildings that we controlled that we can do something with. I just don't see the need to use them. Especially because we don't have a lot of influence right now. Well, we have 14, so excuse me. We do have a lot of influence right now. Our bad relationship with our elder son makes the revolutionaries dislike us. -3, ouch. Okay, who is this? The aristocrats in my family want her alive. So maybe that's what we want to do. Because if we look, if we acquit her, that's a good boost to our aristocrats. Wow, it's a huge boost. Oh, if we death penalty her, it's over. I'm pretty sure that's over. One moment, I'm going to pause just again. You probably won't notice a thing, hopefully. Alright, sorry if you noticed anything there. Let's go ahead and see who this is. Even though we are definitely going to save our own bacon by acquitting her. Oh, she's the guy who killed Marat. Marat, I'm sure. You're the lady that killed Marat. You will rot, bitch. Please introduce yourself. My name is Charlotte Corday. You have been accused of murdering Citizen Marat? Yes, I did it. Oh, shoot. You're going to make it really hard for me to acquit you. And I have to acquit you to stay alive. We rarely see people here confess so willingly. Well, you know what? Maybe we can we can spin it somehow to say she was persuaded or influenced to do it, not of her own free will. The defendant is Charlotte Corday, residing in Cannes. She openly declares her sympathies for the Girondins. The woman murdered Jean-Paul Marat as she was detained at the scene of the crime and confessed immediately. According to our information, the woman displays an intense dislike of the Jacobins and anyone who contributed to the fall of the Girondins. She arranged a meeting with Marat under the pretext of turning in a group of her comrades who had supposedly planned an uprising in Cannes. Marat's servants remained vigilant and initially did not let her in, but allegedly the host reprimanded them and told them to let the supposed informer in. The man was sitting in his bath, as rumor had it. He suffered from a skin disease. It was eased by long baths. It seems he suspected nothing, as we found none of the deceased weapons near the bathtub. After a short conversation, Corday thrust a knife between his ribs. Marat called for help, but had little chance of surviving after being so badly wounded. When the servants ran in, Corday was standing at the window, looking out as though she were examining the landscape. She offered no resistance during her arrest, but tightly gripped a copy of Plutarch's Parallel Lives. I do not know if it is any good. I have not read it. On the way to her cell, she repeated many times that she had been acting on her own, and was particularly keen on emphasizing there was no man behind her act. The guards probably did not fully believe her, as she began to shout in the corridor that she was a virgin. Yet who would want to copulate with a lunatic like her? Marat is dead. Yes, I know. Marat is dead. We all know this. Alright, let's, we already asked you who she was. We have to unlock the questions. What do we do? Alright, motive, personality, method, course of events, and evidence. A supporter of the Girondins. That's the offender's personality. There is a trap we have to watch out for. The alleged denunciation, the bath, stabbed with a knife, acting alone, Plutarch's book. Stabbed with a knife was the method of murder. Stabbed with a knife is also evidence? Not evidence. It's not motive. It must be offender's personality? How is stabbed with a knife a motive? This is not cool. The alleged denunciation was a method. The bath, evidence method. Acting alone, evidence method. Plutarch's book, evidence or method. Let's say the bath is the method. I'm sorry, that was a trap. Well, acting alone was the method. Plutarch's book is the evidence. I thought the book was the trap. Oh gosh. Why? Why are you doing this to me, game? I have to let her go or it's over for me. Why? Why are you so hateful towards Marat? He was a symbol of the evil that is smothering my country. Is that why you stayed there after committing the crime? I'm not ashamed. I do not have to run. I have killed one man to save 100,000, and I will receive death as my reward. The fall of the Girondins was justified. That's a lie. The fall of the Girondins was planned. You issued your verdict and probably had a hand in the whole thing. What do you mean? The judge here was involved in a dispute with Minister Roland. All of a sudden, the Girondins were accused of treason. It's not hard to figure out that the judge Fidel must have had something to do with it. Enough of these aspersions. Alright, well, we could just let her go right now. We don't have to ask any more questions. We could just say, okay, we're done. You're gone. Get out of here. And looking at this, I mean, honestly, I have to, because if this happens, we're toast. Like, we just toast, right? Risk of death, risk of being removed from office, risk of death. And my family wanted me to let her go, and the aristocrats want me to let her go. We're not gonna. I think we're just going to. I think we're just gonna not ask any of these questions and do what is the right thing for the run of the game and not the right thing for justice, because we're forced to do that. The defendant. It's almost like the game was trying to give me that option when it kept giving me all those. It kept giving me all those little. Simple verdicts, or those just one line cards about, you know, guilty or innocent, and there were so many of them that were aristocrats. So it was like, here's a way you could pump up the opinion of the aristocrats, because you're gonna have this big decision that the aristocrats are gonna hate soon. The defendant confessed to the crime. Yes, but was her act counting revolutionary nature? Yes. What was the murder weapon? A knife. Did the defendant turn in her accomplices? She was working alone. Why did she choose Marat? He demanded in his paper that her lover be decapitated. She chose him randomly. In her opinion, he was a symbol of the evil that smothered France. Well, you know what? We're gonna take this as easily and quickly as we can. I'm not gonna ask you any questions, lady. I'm just going to let you go, and then I'm gonna run for my life out of the room. How's that? Are you okay with that? Acquitted. Please don't hate me, revolutionaries. Get out of here. The verdict in the case of Citizen Marat's murder is not guilty. Please release Miss Corday. Has the judge gone mad? Paris will not forget you for this. Yep. Oh, we did it all right. We had 100% over here. All right. Goodbye, madam. Goodbye, Tonville. Let me get out of this madhouse with my life. You find a large size uniform on a hook. Only one employee is big enough to fit it. Your favorite court guard, Raphael Clovis. You find a short letter in one of the pockets, and some parts of it stand out in particular. I'm leaving the service. I can't do this any longer, and too much blood on my hands. The rats are fleeing the sinking ship. You dare leave me, sir?
Terror is nothing but swift justice. Robespierre used to say that. And now an army of outcasts marches towards us to present their interpretation of those words.
Do you come to arrest me?
I came to tell you that certain people believe everything you did for the benefit of France.
Indeed.
Who are you?
Officer Thomas Alexandre Dumas from the French army, at your service.
Do
Hello,
you believe
sir?
in what those few say about me?
Most deputies of the convention fled once they learned of the approaching army. The reinforcements that will be able to save us will take a dozen or so days to reach Paris.
Do you believe I did everything because of France?
No. But as far as I heard, you know the enemy better than any one of us.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's our brother.
As a commander, I certainly appreciate that asset. And as a human being, I know that brotherhood is especially important when someone is fallen. You reached the bottom, but there are people willing to give you a chance to redeem yourself.
We do appreciate
I
that.
think you're talking to the wrong person.
I am talking to a predator. I am talking to a person who is not averse to killing other citizens. And that is what awaits us. We will have to ruthlessly murder Frenchmen who stand on the other side of the barricades.
I'm good at that. I'm good at
I am
murdering
talking
people.
to a murderer, because that is how you are known to those who are afraid of you. As ghastly as it sounds, you are exactly who we need.
You said yourself that reinforcements are a dozen or more days away.
So we just hold out until
That
then.
is why I gathered an army of loyal people. I will entrust them to you under one condition.
Did you say an army?
Look for yourself. A truly revolutionary army. A poor and the wealthy, white and black people, all marching side by side. They came here to protect Paris.
You mentioned one condition.
Make me a general.
Oh, well, you got it, General.
The first black commander of that higher rank in the whole of France.
I do not have such power.
But you do. You still hold the power of the guillotine, remember? Support me, and the army will be yours.
Definitely.
Regardless of their origin or race, those people believe that if they are scared of you, our enemy should be even more terrified.
Hand me a piece of paper and a pen, General.
Ah, there you go. Hello, General. Good, nice to meet you, Mr. Dumas. Or, excuse me, General Dumas. Ah, so we got little pieces to put on the board, huh? The number of units given to you depends on your reputation. We have 16 levies en masse. So those are like our levies. Just like, just militia troops, I guess. He's just holding a pike. 7 infantrymen, 7 city guards, 5 musketeers, and 3 artillery. 3 artillery doesn't sound like a lot, but the whole of Paris is fighting. The political salon will be transformed into headquarters, and the hideout will be transformed into a help center. The printing house will stop operating. The garrison generates reinforcements every turn. The higher your reputation, the more troops will join you. People are trying to avoid the enemy's cruelty in every section of Paris. Protect them for as long as possible. Your reputation depends on it. So the more we can protect people, the more reputation we have. The more reputation we have, the more reinforcements we get, so we can protect more people. Cycle continues. I got it. Toggle the view of refugees remaining in the districts on and off with this button. This is the physician. The physician treats your injured troops and provides a bonus to health points. If the troops die, the physician dies with them. Okay. So we can man her, like we can embed her with our troops, but she can die. Your brother's army will arrive tomorrow. See, what can we do here? Printing house we can't do. Political salon. Like, you're not giving me any options. You're saying you're seizing this building. Okay. Thought I could do something with those. Alright, so this is how many civilians are in each section. I don't know why some of them have, like a crown. And some of them don't. It's not the population, like the highest populations, because this is 47,000, so this one has a higher, 57,000 is higher than this one, so I don't know why those are highlighted. There must be a reason. Maybe those are like headquarters or something, because our main area has one. So what is this? Is this where the enemy will arrive? Because I see encroaching red blood and this this hash mark stuff. So you want me to move people. So the levée en masse, a collection of people from all segments of society, their strength in numbers. Infantry or trained soldiers, good in close combat and for defending against attacks. The city guard, shooters who are used to defend the city day by day. They perform ranged and melee attacks. Musketeers, trained shooters who are most effective in ranged, but who can fight in close combat. So those are kind of similar. Don't know what, maybe these are, I don't know. I don't know what differentiates those, really. And then the artillery goes in the third row. Powerful technology makes artillery unmatched when it comes to attack and power. Unfortunately, it can be easily damaged. So I definitely want artillery if I'm going to defend. I also want my infantry because I need some front row support. I don't know why you're giving me that check option, and I'm a little afraid of it, honestly. Now for the second row, do I want the musketeers or the city guard? Used to defend the city day by day. And these are trained shooters who are most effective in ranged combat, but can also fight in close combat. I'm gonna have the city guard. Excuse me, I can't put these there. Why can't I put you there? Oh, I could only fit 2 in. Is that what that thing was telling me? Was it a? It's a slider. Okay, I gotcha. So let's pull that out. Because this can only support 12. I gotcha. So 3 artillery. I kind of probably want... I've got 9 more spaces. I'm going to do 5 and 4. So 5 infantry maybe. And... excuse me? I can't... Do I not... Oh, I didn't hit the... I didn't hit the thing. Why are you being so fiddly, game? 5. There you go. And 4 city guard. Can't put any more people here. So what I want to do then is probably put... So if they're encroaching from this position, I need to hold maybe this spot as well. There's not that many civilians here, though. So is it worth it? This garrison is full. Let's go for... I'm going to put... I don't want to put 16 of the levy and mass there. 12 positions. So... First row, I want... like 8 of you guys. And then I'm going to put 5 musketeers in there. That's not correct math. Let's undo that. let's figure out our math. Can I just resize you, please? I'm gonna put 7 in here. Sorry, this is ridiculous, I know. And 5 musketeers to hold this spot. Then let's, I don't know, do I need to put anyone, do I need to keep pushing them out? I'll put them on the board. Oh yeah, I can put the physician out. I don't know what's going to happen in this spot, so I do not want to put my physician in there until I see what happens. You know, these people might get completely overrun, in which case I'll be screwed. Let's put 9 levy and mass there, and then I need some musketeers to back them up. And then these 2 infantrymen can just sit here in this little island here. So end the day, please. Achievement unlocked. Equality. Yes, because I finished Act 2. It's now Act 3, Fraternité, Day 1. I will end the episode soon, but I want to see what happens. Today we only have several minor cases to deal with. Okay. Bad relationship with our elder son. Good relationship with father. Yeah, the revolutionaries aren't really too happy with us right now. Nathan Sayers allegedly beat up his wife, who is 15 years his younger. The claim was made by her parents. Both the culprit and the victim denied that such an incident took place. Moreover, we found no bruises on her face. Innocent. Gaspard Picard. Colonel Gaspard Picard, who is in charge of the USS Enterprise, no, I mean the artillery of the Internal Army, was caught stealing building materials that were supposed to be used to build new barracks for their brigade, or at least that's what his subordinates are claiming. According to the report, he commissioned the transport of several carts of blocks to his mansion out of the city. You know, you can't do that. That looks bad. I mean, I know you are in charge of the artillery of the army. But you know what? Not looking good for you right now, dude. So I don't care that it might hurt our army. You gotta be killed. Lisa Meni, who has been illegally selling magic potions to young pregnant women. The substance facilitates miscarriage. We searched her house and found a number of empty bottles, dried herbs, and a large amount of money hidden under the floor. So she's providing abortions, which it's a very touchy subject. But clearly this is a crime in this period France, or else they wouldn't have been brought this up to the judge. So under the laws of the time, I have to say goodbye to you, madam. One of the buildings in the center of Paris nearly burned down after 47-year-old Hugo Bassot, encouraged by a half-quarter of anisette, is that like some kind of anise wine, decided to build a campfire in the middle of the apartment. Luckily, the thick, dark smoke alerted the neighbors. And the revolutionaries aren't going to like this, but you can't go setting fire to apartment blocks, dude. Noel Multiessier, an experienced docker, gouged someone's eyes out during a fight. According to a witness, he grabbed the victim's head and smashed it into a wall. Unfortunately, there was a nail sticking out of it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oof, look at that. Oh, we have to let this person go. Like, for our own sake. Whatever she's done, we have to do. Margot Bossuet stabbed her younger flatmate during a drinking session. Rescuers managed to save him even though he had lost a lot of blood. The accused and her victim were widely known as drunkards and slackers. You know what? I have to let you go. I hate it. I hate it. But if the game is going to continue, I have to let you go. Alright. Let's go on. Why am I even doing these? I'm trying to... Like, my time's preoccupied with saving the city, honestly. Thank you for coming. Who is this? Oh, this is Jacques-Louis Davy. And, he does things for us, but I don't really know who he is. How is he feeling? Like a young man who wasn't ready for what happened to him. Are we talking about our son? Lexi, your brother paid me a visit. The one who is supposed to be dead. We know. Jacques, let me finish. I respect the memory of our friendship. We have both helped each other in many ways, but I now know that because of my loyalty to you, I participated in something very wrong. My brother is a monster. The amount of blood shed by the revolution has changed us all into monsters. We can only hope that after we die, people will forget about us, and all of our wrongdoings will be blown away. You prefer to side with my child's murderer over me? Thanks to him, I finally understood what we did to our country by giving the power to uneducated people armed with axes and torches. We need to restore balance, and your brother is going to do that. So here's what you do right now, Alexei. You pick up the fork that's right at your hand, and you just stab him right in the eye. Then we put his body in the fireplace, because he is, obviously a traitor. He's just a traitor. So, just stab him right in the face. He is a murderer. As are you and I. The only difference between him and us is that we will be honored with medals and statues. I do not want that kind of praise tainted by crime and deceit. Now is my last chance to change my fate. What are you going to do? I do not know. I will probably leave Paris while it is still possible, then wait and adapt to the new situation. Your court guards ran away this morning, and Ramel, it turns out that he was always with your brother and did what was necessary to lead you to this moment. So you're all traitors. If that's how you see things, you have already failed. Goodbye, my friend. Yes, goodbye to you, because we're shoving you in the fireplace right now. Goodbye. Yeah, my father's like, yes. I don't know. Oh, because we let the lady... Is this because we let the lady go? Is that why? We can have dinner with our officers. No one likes that, but it's something to do with our military. We can go on the safe path. No one likes that. Barricades. No one likes that. Provisions and medicine. No one's like that. So we can't actually do anything with our family. We have to decide how we want to deal with the war. So we have dinner with the officers. A warm, home-cooked meal under a real roof would do your most dependable officers a lot of good. Your wife has always been an excellent cook. We can do the safe path. When he was younger, Bernard would often sneak out and explore Paris's streets. Perhaps now his knowledge could help him in saving refugees' lives. The barricades, furniture, rubble, barrels, everything could be used to build barricades. Let us provide protection for our troops and block off strategic points. Or provisions and medicine. Those who chose to stay cannot just idly watch the soldiers fight. They need to contribute with whatever they have left. Well, we need to set up barricades as a first line of defense, honestly. Yeah, everyone dislikes us. I gotcha. I mean, my brother's trying to kill you guys, so you should be happy with me. I'm trying to protect you. So we're looking on the
They are
map.
already here.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
The outcasts, the cursed ones. That is how they call themselves. The families of the victims of the revolution. The sons of those who were forced to run to other countries. They have groped their way in the dark for years, and there was no one who would console them. Now they want France for themselves. As we do.
Alright, so what's happening? The number of units given to you. So we recruited some extra people. So some more levy en masse, some more infantry, some more city guards, some more musketeers. The political salon has been transformed to headquarters. Choose its actions to facilitate your fight for Paris. Enemy attack. You have been attacked. If you have no troops in this section, you will automatically lose. Okay. Like, I think this episode has kind of gone long enough, so I probably will not deal with that right now. So what is their headquarters? What does that allow us to do? Build barricades for 6 influence points. Yes, please. Let's do that. Units in sections that neighbor enemy sections will gain a bonus to defense. Yes, let's do that. Is that a good time to do it right now? I don't know, because the enemy has no sections, but so maybe it was a bad idea to do that at this point. But so our people are blocked in. We can't move. We can't add more people in. Okay, I mean, yeah, the garrison's full anyways. So I think this is where I leave this episode. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again next time.